Hello and welcome to a new episode of KiwiLife. In this episode, I really wanted to interiorize the castle, but I didn't want to design it. So yeah, that doesn't really work. You cannot interiorize the castle if you haven't designed it. So we're going to switch projects and work on the project in the village over here. And we're going to start the next big project. This is going to be over here. And as you can see by the little outline of the schematic, it's going to be quite a big project. So yeah, we're going to build a medieval arena, and yeah, it's going to be for a game show, and all the way around here will be some stalls where people can sit, and then in the middle here will be the field where the people can fight or like joust with the horses. And yeah, it's quite a big project, so probably not going to finish it in today's episode. But first, we need to dig out the space so we can have some space for the redstone. And it's going to be quite a big hole, not enormous, but it's going to be quite big. And we now have the hole. As you can see, it's, well, not super big, but it's not small either. But this is the space I dug out. It's in the shape of the arena. As you can see a bit, you can see the outlines. So there'll be two entrances into the middle. This will be the middle, and all the redstone will be in the pit I dug in here. And under here will be this will be under the stalls, and there will be some more redstone. But this is not really redstone that we need, but it does add some fun things. And I think we should start at the bottom with the redstone, and that's this part. Because this is for the second part of the game show, and it involves sheep. So the main concept is that I ask questions, true or false questions. Then we have green and red sheep. Then the players have to get them in a certain time limit into their hole, which will be signified with their colors. And after that time, the fence gates close, and then we can count them, and then you just retract the floor, and they'll fall down. Get funneled all the way back to here. This is where they start. And then when I need more sheep, we can just press a button, and then the sheep will be pushed into the arena. And because pushing sheep into the arena is the simplest bit, I think we should start with that. So this is basically just a fence gate over here, and then a slime block pusher behind them. And there's some timings so that when the fence gates open, the sheep gets pushed, and then the fence gates close. That's most of the redstone over here. So we have to copy that on both sides. The pushers are done, so I've built a piece of the wall over here. Only the piece that's really needed. But as you can see, there's just a small holding cell, so the sheep will be coming from up there and drop down. So they can't escape. And then up here is the input panel where I'll be staying. So if I go upstairs, you can see that I have 5 inputs. I need to cover the lights. But this button does the pushing. So as you can see, the fence gates open, the pistons, the slime blocks extend, and the fence gates close. So this is done with this blue wire. It goes into here, here, and then firstly it goes down and depowers this torch behind here, and then it depowers this redstone, which depowers the torches on the other side under there, which will open the gates. And then after a while, after a bit of a delay, the piston extends, and then it all closes, and it travels underneath here to the other side. And that is the system working. And before we start on the chambers, I think we should put in the waterways for the sheep. So add some glass to here so we can see the sheep and then just as the water, all the way coming all the way from the back cell. So the water starts here, the waterway, and then it splits to either side. So this will just be mirrored. And it goes down here into this cell, then all the way to the end, where it will go up, and then it just floats up into this cell, and then it can be pushed out. And now when a sheep drops into the hole, it gets transported to the chambers. If we're a sheep, you just get pushed through here. I do need to put a roof on here still. It gets pushed, and then you can also drop in here, and it gets pushed even more. And eventually it hits this water block, starts floating, and then floats all the way up until it's dropped. And that's also done on the other side. So now that we have the catch system and release system, we just need the place where they can temporarily be stored. And let's start with the countdown system, where it just keeps the gates open for a certain amount of time. So we'll have this wire down here for that. It will go into a hopper clock. As long as the hopper clock is running, the gates are open, and then eventually they close. And that's basically the whole system. And I will add a music disc dispenser to it. So maybe I'll add some custom music disc for the game sounds. So that you also have a, well, you have a kind of countdown in the music itself. Some feedback on how far in the round you are. When I push the button, the fence gates open and music starts to play. I do have to find another song for this, because this is not the final song I want to use, as it's also too long. As you can see, the fence gates opened, and the music is quite loud, so let's turn that down. And let's see, nothing changed. So let's try that again. Turn it off, or almost off. That's better. So yeah, now the fence gate is closed after a set amount of time. So that's the time the players have to move the sheep into their pen, and we have to fine tune the time. This is the redstone. So the signal comes down here from the button press, which depowers the piston, and then the redstone block can be pushed to this block over here, which allows the items to flow into this hopper, which powers the comparator, which powers this line, and depowers the line here above here. And it opens the fence gates, as there are some torches behind these blocks here. And well, I have a lot of inverting, because the fences could only be powered by the torches without the redstone, if you didn't want the redstone visible. And when all the items have flown into the hopper, the piston pushes the redstone block back, and the items can flow back into this hopper over here. And the comparator also powers the dropper, as you can see, and it spits out the music disc into the jukebox, which plays the music. But we still have to find another music disc, because this one is too long. And that is all the redstone in here. But now we need to find mechanic for the floors, which I've already found. We need the floors to be able to retract, and the best way to do this, I think, is with flying machines. So we need to build some flying machines that can retract the floor. A little while later, the floor is built and it can retract. If we push the button, all 3 floors get pulled back, and then when we press it again, they get put back. Yeah. So it's just a flying machine, and it's a bit difficult to show, but as you can see, there's just 3 pushers for 3 different lines, because slime, honey, slime. Otherwise we'll get to the push limit. Maybe if I open it, it will be better visible. As you can see, in slime, honey slime, and then there's a piston over here which goes in front of the observer, so that gets triggered first. If it's in the closed position, it gets triggered and moves here. Shortly after, this gets triggered. It's faster than the flying machine itself, so if it was closed, it happens before it arrives. But then this is get triggered. So if it's like this, these all read and then push. That's the flying machine. So it's a regular flying machine. And for some reason this... Oh no, well, not for some reason. I do get it. I have a short pulse shortener. So this makes a short pulse from the long pulse. Which basically makes sure the line is off when it arrives. And for some unexplainable reason, we don't need it at the end. Maybe that's because it gets triggered in the opposite way. First this gets triggered and then the piston. But that is all things done for the second part of the game show. So now we can release the sheep. We need to. Then we can give them a timer. And the gates open. And then when they close, oh, they're open. So let's now get the sheep from there, moved into their place, and hope they stay in, because they can wander out. But after a while, they should close. Right about now. There. They close. And then we can open the gates, send the sheep back, and then close them again. Then for the next contraption, we'll go to build the thing for the last part of the game show, which will be in the middle here. We'll make a big contraption here. This is basically just a huge block swapper, because I want a pop-up fence for a joust. So that will be the final of the game show. So let's see. Basically, the middle will look like this. Let's get some more. Where did I leave it? Here. So middle will be like this, and then with a push of a button, a fence should appear. And this was quite difficult. It's not my own design, but I will build it first. Then I can show you the design, but it will also be in the description. And this is the design. But I built it one block too low, so I need to rebuild it one block higher. But it does work. As you can see, it puts the fence up there. And now they're hidden again. So it does work, it's just one block too low. So I have to tear it all down and build it one block higher. This is fun. Now I've built it a bit higher. So now it's level with the other floor things, the entrance. And it still works. I really struggled with building it, but I've got one observer in the thing. I forgot this row observer, so it didn't work and I was just really confused. But now that it works, we can focus on the last bit of redstone crucial to the game. That's the first round. It's going to be over here, because our players need some buzzers. And only one player is able to buzz at a time. These should be able to buzz at a time, so we can really tell who buzzes first. So that's also needs a bit of redstone. The buttons are now in with all the redstone. So this is the redstone, and it's not that difficult. It's not a lot of redstone either, so it's nice. It's color coordinated. But I did have to put in the colored blocks for now in the dispensers. So I do want some fireworks in there. But fireworks are a bit expensive, so when the show is really happening, I'll put in some fireworks with each of its own color, but for now it's just colored blocks. But if I press the button, you have a ding, the light turns on, and the block gets put out via firework. And you shouldn't be able to press them in quick succession and then, well then you can press them, but only one triggers, so as you can see. And you think you have to be really fast for it to trigger both. I just don't know if I can make it happen. Let's see. There, I did it. That was really fast, so it shouldn't happen a lot. Otherwise, it just has to be punching at almost the same time for it to happen, which shouldn't occur too much. And if that happens, I don't know what to do, but we'll see what we'll do then if it happens. But yeah, that one is quite simple. It can maybe be compacted more, but I don't know how exactly. I've tried my best to design this all myself, so proud of it, and I separated a little bit also because it's just nicer to look at when you can really see what's going on instead of having one big blob of redstone. But the redstone goes into the pulse extender for each one of them, and then it goes into the pink line to lock all the incoming inputs, and it also makes a ding. As you can see, the input goes into the piston block for each one of them, so when the pink line gets powered, it does get through. And you also have the purple line, which does the fireworks and the lamps. And that's all that's done, which is quite simple. And for the next part, we should put in a floor, so it looks a bit nicer, and it actually looks like a bit of an arena. And we also should put in the side walls, or the inner walls, at least. So when we do that, it's a bit closed off, and we can really see how it's going to look. This looks a lot better. We now have an actual arena in here. It only looks good from this angle. From the other angles it's still pretty bad. But we have this sand field in the middle, with these tracks going down from the jousting, from all the horses dropping by. And well, now everything is encased that we have built from the inside, so it's not just a random box. And I think it looks pretty good. But yeah, from the outside, it's still just a bit of a shell. And I also built a secret exit entrance to the redstone, because of course this will be a wall too. So there's no way to get in then. So now I have a secret door to get in and out of the redstone, and then also the stair to go down in here. So that looks a lot better, and now starting to look like an arena, at least from in here. But that's all this episode. I hope you enjoyed. We did a lot today. We built all the redstone systems over here. I also did move the buttons because it didn't work when I pressed the middle button. It also triggered the pusher and the floor, so now that's fixed. But I hope you enjoyed. I'll be back in a couple of weeks with a new episode in which we'll continue this build. If you liked it, like and subscribe if you've not done that, and share your feedback, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.